How many times have you said "I told you so" to just anybody randomly on the street, on TV since yesterday, Malcolm Nance?
It's the people that come up to me on the street all the time. I'm actually here visiting at a hospital, and people are like, "Oh my God, Malcolm, yeah, you were absolutely right."
Yeah.
Well, yes, I'm sorry. I
Oh.
was right. I've been right for 2 years, 5 months. So let's move on.
Well, yeah, but I mean, even you have to just look at this yesterday, and go, "Oh my God!" I mean, it's hard to know even where to start. Well, let's start with what's under all these redactions, right? And
Well,
the fact that it
there,
is multiple investigations, plural, that are mentioned in the memo, right?
absolutely. And there's more to come. I mean, I've been saying this from the very beginning. Michael Flynn was the chief of dirty tricks. And we know that because there were at least two other attempts to gain emails that went through Michael Flynn. And to his credit in this memo, he immediately confessed to all of the dirty tricks. He immediately confessed to the Mueller investigation, saw himself dishonored, and decided to make amends by showing remorse by helping them weed through everything that was going on during the
Wow.
transition and the beginning of the administration. And that is going to be fantabulous. And the only reason it's going to be fantabulous is because the number of things that could come out of this investigation are not only what he is allocated to, that he's already confessed to, it's that he led them to other people. I can only hope
Wow.
that at some point he wore a wire.
Oh, God, this is just too good. I mean, you
Oh,
tweeted the story of Kushner asking Russia for a secret and secure communications to hide from the CIA and the NSA never gets old, especially since we know Mike, extremely cooperative Flynn, was in the room. Fill in the redactions with good thoughts. Oh, wait, you're a fan of Hamilton. We were just saying this is. Isn't it time to just dance to this like all day long, particularly the Trump Tower meeting, right?
No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened. No one else was in the room where it happened, the room where it
Right?
happened.
Right?
absolutely. Good God, Hamilton. They should just redo Hamilton for this administration and just be fantastic. Just fantastic, all the
Aye.
funny songs that you could get out of it.
Yeah.
So, for the most part, I think that the way that this is going to play out, certainly with Jared Kushner, I don't think that that particular story is what's in the redactions. I think the meta narrative of all of his relationships with the Saudis, the Emiratis, the
Aye.
Turkeys, the Turkish, the attempt to get Fethullah Gulen, and and the relationships with Russia all come together under Donald Trump and is executed by Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump, Mike Flynn, Paul Manafort. It is just going to show what I've been saying since February of 2017, a racketeered influence and corrupt organizations activity. And they were all in on it, and that the White House was going to be this large scale operation to just defraud the United States and to cover for these relationships with a foreign power that were marionetting Donald Trump like their little puppet.
How screwed exactly is Manafort,
Oh,
Stone, and Corsi, all these tough guys that think they were going to do the
oh
Trump
my!
strategy of, lying and you know, giving Mueller the finger?
Oh, they're just so absolutely screwed. There is just, there's no way out of this. And very early on, you might recall a couple of times where I said the only option you have here is confess and cooperate or go to jail. And it appears that there is a sub conspiracy of Corsi, Manafort, Roger Stone, uh, Credico, Randy Credico,
Right.
all deciding that they are going to circle wagons and place their trust in Donald Trump. What happens to everybody who deals with Donald Trump?
Yep.
They get screwed. Trump has loyalty
What's
only to Donald Trump.
what's the name of Rick
And if
Wilson's book? Everything Trump touches
Trump
dies.
touches, dies. And it's not just that. I mean, Tim O'Brien cataloged in his book, Trump Nation, that he has no loyalty to his wife.
Yeah.
his children, anyone who has ever worked for him, he has screwed over because he's a sociopath. He can show no empathy. He doesn't understand it. If it doesn't benefit him personally, he will screw you. So all of these guys who are hoping for pardons, the only way that a pardon will come is if it benefits Trump's legal strategy personally. But of course, it could also just be the next article of impeachment for obstruction of justice.
You came out on Twitter the other day and you said, "I'm going to say it. He must be impeached." I mean, I keep saying it. Like, this is why you and I have gotten to be like a so simpatico, because I've been saying for, as you have, why isn't everyone's hair on fire? He is a clear and present danger to the United States. He is a national security threat.
Right. Well, we're just at that point. When I wrote that tweet, I reached my fill. That tweet was in response to the fact that it appeared that he was making statements to clearly signal to people that he would not only cover for them, but that he would use the pardons and in order to obstruct justice and tamper with witnesses. And it wasn't just me; it was practically everybody in the media was saying that this is a crime
Right.
and that you can't allow these crimes to go unspoken. We're just at the point where impeachment is a political process which removes the power of the presidency. We're well beyond that.
Yeah, we're way
There
beyond.
will be indictments out of this. And if Donald Trump, I'm afraid to say, if he doesn't go to prison when it's all said and done, if Mike Pence pulls the Gerald Ford and decides to pardon him to end this national nightmare, there will be no justice, because we are looking at what is not arguably, I'm sorry, I've actually written this in my own books. This is the single greatest corruption scandal in the history of the United States, and we're barely seeing the beginnings of it.
Yeah.
What we see in these reports. This is going to be Schadenfreude delicious. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
they are going to collapse under their own weight.
okay, but let's talk about Mike Pence for a minute.
Hmm.
I don't know if you've heard Sean mention that
Mike Pence is up to his albino eyebrows in this.
Yes, exactly, Sean.
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
how is he not right in the middle of this, right? He was the head of the transition team. He knew all of this.
Whatever happens, whatever Flynn has said, Mike Pence is going to have given him the go ahead. Is going to have to have given him the green light, because
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you talk about when Mike Flynn made his 5 phone calls. Okay, the what did they say? The very senior transition official that was at Mar-a-Lago, who
Right.
he was communicating with, was Mike Pence.
Well, right.
Which means Mike Pence knew all about his phone call, all about the conspiracy to lie, all about the things that would give Russia leverage over the United States, and then went along with the lie, which allowed Mike Flynn to be fired.
Right.
Which means that that's conspiracy.
Right, but so
They
how does
knew.
how would Mike Pence get out of this?
Oh, I can't see. The only way that he can get out of this is if he's already been secretly talking to Mueller
Oh,
and
wow.
and has thrown everyone and their dog under the bus.
Wow.
If anything, he may be, depending on the severity of his lies, an unindicted co-conspirator. But I can't see how it works. That Donald Trump would be implicated and Mike Pence would not be
Yeah.
in there, unless he's going to pull the Oliver North routine, which is the president didn't know anything and
Yeah.
I approved it out of innocence, and because I have white hair and I'm a born again Christian, none of this was done with malice.
Yeah, he'll
it's
be.
all done with malice.
Oh God, he'll have that same chuckly sad Santa. Oh no, I didn't know anything. What happens with Putin now? You talked about the Russian side revealed more details of the G20 meeting between Putin and Trump. He clearly appears to have outlived his usefulness to Putin. I know I heard Mika Brzezinski yesterday say she's heard from multiple sources that this tape is real, the P tape.
I heard that.
Yeah.
I'm quite surprised. I don't care about that tape because, as I've said
Yes.
many times on television, the secrets in the Mueller in the Christopher Steele memorandum actually encouraged Trump to commit espionage, right, for Russia. cop to the hookers.
Yeah.
That's not
That's the least
important.
of it. Yeah.
That's the least of what's in that memorandum. So, but for the most part, I think that you see what happened at the G20. I said that Trump would meet with Putin, hell or high water. That happened,
Yeah.
right? And then the Russians are always the ones who release the information and tell us what happened because they are using the secretive nature of Donald Trump and his administration as leverage against them. Russia controls the
Right.
narrative of what happens to Donald Trump at these meetings. Russia is exercising extremely soft political power like a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
And Trump is complicit in it. He goes along with it, which tells you that that's a further indication that the man is personally compromised by the Russians.
Yep. Joe says, please ask Malcolm if the first Flynn investigation is the Russian NRA money given to GOP Congress members to compromise their vote to end sanctions. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Is who all comes down in this whole thing, right?
I think that anything related to the NRA and Russia sanctions is going to be like tertiary, fourth and fifth tier activities. I think that Mueller is going for the jugular, and that there won't be any, in between things. That's the sort of thing that you could also throw off to U.S. attorneys around the countries for corruption within each of these congressional districts. If
Well,
there's a quid pro quo.
another thing you've been right about. That's what a legal expert was tweeting, Malcolm, about the fact that this is so smart because now this is a judge has it. When I always ask you, are they going to get away with this, and you always say no. That means it's not in the executive branch anymore. So this can all come out. This will all come out, right?
And another thing that people tend to forget, they think that Mueller is just going to, shoot his wad. He's going to put everything on the table. Based on things that I've heard about the way he prosecutes, he always withholds charges. I mean, he did that with Manafort,
Yeah.
right? When he got through his first trial, there were other charges ready for him to be processed and prosecuted on. I think he will always leave a few charges out there for the state attorneys generals so that if anyone gets pardoned, it's a dead man switch. Mueller goes down, any people get pardoned, there are charges out there in
Yeah.
the ether that every state district attorney, state's attorney, and attorney general can use to prosecute them anyway.
Good
And the
God.
information they have to allocute to, which means when they accept a pardon, they have to confess their crimes, will be the basis and for all of these other charges to step onto at the state level.
Oh, I can't wait for Friday and the Manafort and Cohen
Oh
memos. This is going to
God, I
be a
can't
week,
take it.
Malcolm. Um,
For delicious.
Yeah. Real quick, you tweeted the story that the top four Republican leaders were hacked is too neat, too clean, and tells us nothing apart from that there was a penetration, FBI notified. It feels like a setup from some entity so Republicans can say Democrats are using stolen RNC emails. I mean, in the midst of all this Mueller stuff, it does seem a little. I mean, well, first of all, they're the ones that stopped the funding for election security, right?
Right. Yeah, and they refused to go into a cooperative agreement with the DNC to protect both parties. They refused flat out. No, that story is way too neat,
Yeah.
way too convenient, and comes in at the right time. I want to personally hear from CrowdStrike because Dmitry Perovich and Sean I'm having a brain fart of the FBI
Right.
agent that works with them, and they will determine whether it's an advanced persistent threat like Cozy Bear or Fancy Bear, or whether it's individuals. And if it's individuals, then all bets are off.
Yeah.
Okay, that means that somebody has either done this themselves or made it look like it was being done to them so that they could get at the leadership, but nothing was disclosed so that they can say, it's like the shooting with Steve Scalise, right?
Hmm.
Oh, we were attacked as well, and you don't know where it comes from. If it's an advanced persistent threat like Cozy Bear and Fancy Bear, then that's just what we've already suspected. The Russians are hedging their bets and may even be doing it sympathetically in order to in order to give the Republicans nice cover. It's just
Yeah.
too dang neat
Yeah.
to come in at this point. It happened last April, and then it's only the top 4 leadership guys.
Another one of
Really?
those. No, another one of those coincidences that you talk about so much, Malcolm.
Winky dink, man. Way
And
too much planning.
Finally, I love this this tweet of yours. You said this is a real quote from a real Trump dating site. KKK. For many of them, liberal intolerance has made meeting and dating nearly impossible. Support for the president has become a deal breaker instead of an icebreaker. Good job, women of America. Good job.
That was an article in Wonkette.
Yes.
If you guys aren't following Wonkette on Twitter or not reading Wonkette,
Yeah.
you're just missing.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm
Take
in
out
my,
the take out the tiniest of violins for the Republicans that can't get laid
my
because they love
God.
Trump.
well, she had it as the what is it? The basket of uneffables or something. And
Fantastic.
they're all crying. It turns out there were like 4 pro-Trump dating sites. One of them was hacked. The other one's cover couple was a convicted sex predator.
jeez.
And
God.
all these things. And these guys are all incels, right? Involuntary celibates because women have liberal intolerance.
Oh my God!
Okay.
This Republican Party has become the island of misfit toys just in time for Christmas.
my
Yeah.
God.
Malcolm,
At
happy
least
Mueller.
all the misfit toys were cute.
Happy Mueller time. Happy Mueller time. God knows what we'll be talking about next week, but thank you, sir.
Christ, who knows? Okay,
All
take
right,
care.
love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.